In this episode, we explore an abandoned Italian Renaissance mansion where a tragic crime took place. What is up, guys? So today we're back exploring. So we're at a mansion that's been abandoned for some time. I'm gonna give you a little bit of the history of this place and give you a walk around of it. We're gonna be starting on the top floor. There's a lot of really cool rooms in this place. This mansion was built in 1744 as a summer home for a wealthy family. It consists of 9 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. You can tell that when this home was built, they paid attention to all the small details. The family that built this mansion had not worried about the cost and used Italian architectural influence, not just on the outside, but the way the interior was set up, which we will see more of later. Can you imagine how wealthy you would have to be to build a mansion to get away from your other mansion? When they built it, they considered it a villa, and you can see from this old picture that it really looked like it was in Italy. This estate had a lot of rumors about what happened here. One of them being that the family left everything and fled to France, trying to avoid tax evasion. But these stories are completely false, and it actually took a lot of research to dig into what the tragic story of this place was. I'm going to try my best to tell this family's story without giving too much pivotal information to protect this location. The next couple to take over this estate had purchased it in 1988. They started a family here and had a daughter who grew up to be a pretty well-known architect in the area. Now keep in mind, this was a massive 3-story property that had 9 bedrooms. I'm not entirely sure why, but the family always had a lot of international travelers living and working with them. Possibly they were teaching new architects, but I'm not 100% sure. But the daughter was still living at this home when she started dating one of these international travelers around 2013. The guy she was dating had been an Algerian man who grew up in France and come to the United States for this work opportunity. The young man had moved back to France the next year before getting a call from his girlfriend. She let him know that she had been pregnant and she didn't want to keep the baby from his father. The man decided he would move back to the United States where his girlfriend was living, and they got married the next year in 2015. The next coming years had not been as pleasant. The marriage did not work out and they were divorced in 2016. Shortly after this, the father had been charged with child endangerment after leaving the baby in a hot car while he went shopping. Of course, the mother and now ex-wife had been furious and had full custody of the little boy. The father at this time had been fighting for shared custody, and this did not help his case, but he ultimately was granted unsupervised visits with his son. Because of their divorce, the courts ordered both parents to surrender their passports and not leave the state without getting permission from the other parent. When you're walking through here, all you can see is like people's leftover clothes and all their personal belongings. I mean, they definitely left here in a hurry. While all this was going on, the boy's father had become outraged by his custody situation, and this is where things take a turn for the worst. On one of the father's supervised visits, he asked if he could have the boy home a little later that night, which the mother agreed to since they had a late start to that day. The father agreed to have the child home by 6:30, which had come and gone with no sign of them. 3 hours went by and the mother called the police to check the father's apartment, which was empty. Police had tracked the father's phone to their local international airport and soon learned that both he and the boy left the country. This is when she first learned that her son had been kidnapped. Because the father was born in Algeria, he was able to retrieve both a passport for him and his son from the embassy. This is because, according to the laws in Algeria, it states that children of Algerian men are considered citizens of the country, even if they were born somewhere else. He was able to retrieve passports successfully, and he kidnapped the boy. The mother had immediately filed for a visa to Algeria and set off to try and find her son. The mother had never been to this country before, not to mention this region of the world, and she had to find a way to do everything by herself. The United States were able to track down the boy and locate him in Algeria, but because of political standings between the two countries, Algeria does not honor United States custody orders, and they were unable to help the mother any further. There was a hidden door in the bottom of the stairwell that went down to another small bathroom. Check out this room. This room is absolutely beautiful. Must have taken forever. This was the formal living room that featured an amazing curved, hand-painted ceiling. There had been a carved fireplace directly in the middle and a piano in the corner of the room. There had been so much fine detail put into the ceiling of this living room, again with heavy Italian influence. This had been easily my favorite part of the home. After all of this, the story sort of went dark for a while, and they hadn't had any updates on the kidnapping until 2019. Half a year after her son had been taken, she stated that she stayed in Algeria for the past 3 months and had not made much progress on getting her son back, and that she had planned on moving full-time to Algeria. Her plan is to go through their legal process of getting custody of her son, all while she has to completely relocate her life in a new country. She hopes to one day have a life with her son, even if that means she has to completely start a new life. The sad part of the story is nobody knows what happened after this. We don't even know if she was ever awarded split custody or if she even seen the child since. There had been no updated information available since 2019. This room seemed like it was a reading nook or a library of some sort, again with a beautifully curved ceiling. I loved this ornate wooden kitchen, and funny story, I came back to this location a few weeks later and it had actually been cleaned up by other explorers, which added a nice touch. just finished up here at the mansion. This has been a really crazy explore. There's so much cool things to see here. We had a really awesome time. We hope you all enjoyed this location and learning about the family that once lived here. If you did enjoy, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever we post a new episode. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks.